Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to be talking with Hard Truth Distilling's Bryan Smith about some new product offerings they have. My name is Steve Akeley. Please join me in welcoming my special guest, Mr. Bryan Smith. Hey, Bryan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Steve, I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. I'm doing great as well. We've got some good weather holding out for us. You're outside at the distillery today. Looks pretty good there.
It's unbelievable. Having these extra couple weeks to extend our fall season here has been tremendous for the tourism and I was in Chicago this past weekend at Whiskey Fest, and I'm walking around in downtown Chicago 11 o'clock at night, first week in November, and I just had a light jacket on. It was crazy.
It's not bad, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we had a little cold snap in there, but that's kind of gone away. We're back to kind of warm temps again. You're talking about dang near 80 degrees. So it's nice during the day. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Nice and sunny too. So got to enjoy that. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at the distillery. So say people want to come and visit this time of the year. What kind of things do you have going on? Because I think about you guys, I think about outdoor summer concerts and stuff like that. Tell us what happens in the fall and into the winter.
Yeah, absolutely. Fall's, our high season here in Brown County. We're on 325 wooded acres here in Brown County, Indiana. If you're not familiar with the area, it's where the Laurentide ice sheet stopped and receded back. So it's really the only place in Indiana that's got the kind of hills and hollers topography, that you see usually in like the foothills of Appalachia. So it's beautiful here. And, this is our high season. We've got a 300-seat restaurant. We've got a big distillery. We do different kinds of distillery tours and tasting tours, mixology courses. We've got about 1,000-seat outdoor terrace area for live music. So we've got live music every weekend. But if they go to hardtruthdistilling.com, you can kind of go through and look at all the stuff we offer. But it's just a beautiful time to come and stay in Brown County. You can get a cabin and come and have some good drinks and some listen to some good music and see a cool distillery.
Yeah, that does sound cool. So tell me a little bit too, as we get closer to the holidays, the end of the year stuff and Christmas and all that kind of good stuff. Do you guys get the lights in it? Because it has a very picturesque Norman Rockwell type of Christmas look just walking around there. So I can imagine if you guys decorate it up. And is that something you guys do there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely, once we lose the leaves on the trees, we move into holiday mode and we string up lights and really get everything decorated out for the holidays. And then in downtown Nashville, Indiana, they do some cool stuff with some holiday stuff as well. So it's a great time to visit anytime. I mean, really anytime, but especially the beginning of the fall through the first of the year.
Yeah. That sounds fun. And I would think that it's pretty cool. And the restaurant's great too. So if nothing else, come by, visit the distillery and grab a meal, right?
For sure. Yeah. And you can buy all of our spirits here. Also retail package. So, you can eat, drink, have fun, and leave with a bunch of great spirits.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. So we've got a fun couple of new products that we're going to be talking about, and I've actually got samples of them. So as we're talking about them today, I'm going to try them. So what we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, my friend. And then when we come back, it's going to be all about your new products here. All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you in a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Many of you have perhaps heard of Leatherwood via our co-host on the Bourbon Daily, Kaylee Baker, who works there. Well, they're now an official sponsor of the network, and we look forward to everyone getting to know a little bit more about them. Company founder Andrew Lang brought his brewing and distilling hobby with him during his years of service as a Green Beret in the United States Army. Whether he was at his home base of Fort Campbell or during tours of duty in places like Italy or Afghanistan, Lang distilled whatever was available to him locally. We are excited about getting to know Andrew Lang and his team better via our programming and are planning a trip down there for the ABV Network crew very soon. In the meantime, check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com, where they will ship bottles directly to you, including their special Remembering 9/11 series, which is raising money for military charities. Seriously, get out there, buy some bottles, help a good cause, and let us know what you think. We're really excited about this partnership. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Danny Kennard, and I'm recording on the ABV Network.
All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Steve Akeley. I'm joined by Bryan Smith from Hard Truth Distilling, and we're talking about a couple of new items that they've got. Bryan, I want to start out with the whiskey. Now, you sent me two products, and I saved the whiskey because this is so special because this is the first distillate that you guys are going to be coming out that you have yourself. You've sourced some product. You're very open about that, so I'm not giving away any secrets there.
Right.
But this is something that you did yourself. Then we got a cream, and I want to say that to last because it's very dessert-like. And I did actually have a couple of buddies over yesterday. We do some YouTube stuff, and we shot a video where we tried that. I didn't want to crack into this at all because I wanted to do this special with you.
Yeah.
We tried this stuff here, and wow. We'll get to that in a second, though. Amazing stuff. And I think it's coming out at a perfect time of the year as we get into the holidays and family gatherings and stuff like that, fun stuff. But let's talk a little bit about this whiskey first. Tell me about this. I'm gonna open this up too and enjoy a drink while you're talking. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. So here at Hard Truth, if you're not familiar with our distillery, we started in 2015 in a very small space with some really kind of small pot still equipment. Whenever we wanted to build this new facility, that was kind of part of the project was, what are we going to be when we grow up from a distillery standpoint? I spent a lot of time down in Kentucky, got to know the guys, especially at Wilderness Trail, really well. They really made me a believer in sweet mash, and what sweet mashing does for your whiskey, especially for rye whiskey, for me personally. So, whenever we decided to build the distillery, we kind of went the extra mile, built in the extra equipment and the all the necessary processes in order to run sweet mash. So we're 100% sweet mash distillery. We've got a 14-inch Vendome continuous column. Like you said, we've got 18 products in the market. The rums, gins, vodkas are all our distillate. The whiskeys that we've released in the last couple of years, we put our little twist on with finishings and different things, but those are sourced whiskeys. So I can tell you from my perspective personally, I can't really, there's really nothing else that excites me more than the release of this whiskey. This is really what this has all been building to. So, whenever you're a young distillery and you start putting those, first couple hundred and then first couple thousand barrels away, and you're looking at the future, it's kind of nerve wracking.
Right.
We know the distillate's good. We knew the whiskey's going to be good, but it's that, it's that, watching it mature and tasting it and seeing it evolve. So what you have in your glass there is going to be batch 1 of our Mash Bill 1 sweet mash rye whiskey. This whiskey is a 94% rye, 6% malted barley mash bill. So there's no corn in this. What you're tasting is a mingling of 30 barrels, all the same mash bill. And those barrels are between 2.5 to 3 years old. We were going to wait until everything was 3 years old, but honestly, we were so excited about the taste of our whiskey, and we kind of want, with everything going on in whiskey, it's kind of fun to have people go along with your journey. So, as this whiskey ages, every batch will get, progressively older until we reach where we feel like is our sweet spot.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, I talking about an evolution here, it doesn't need to take too many. So this is great. This is really fantastic. Gosh darn. So the proof here is what, 115 something?
Yeah. 115.2. So another kind of tenet that we put together when we started this project is, I really love cask strength whiskey. And I think that it's really the true mark of a distiller to taste their whiskey uncut, just straight from the barrel without any cut water. And so all of our batches are going to be released uncut, unfiltered, and just whatever the mingling of the 30 barrels proof wise ends up being, that's what we're going to bottle at. Nice. So I've been playing around with this blend, this mingling of these 30 barrels, and man, it makes some dynamite cocktails, some nice, premium, old fashioned and Manhattan for sure.
Yeah. The mouthfeel on this is incredible. So you got a really quality whiskey here. The cask strength is nice. It gives you a nice warm finish. Not hot at all. Just nice warm finish. You're talking about a nice layering of flavors as well. I'm getting some apple in there, some cinnamon. Very, very perfect when you're coming out this time of the year. It just feels like, man, this is a nice hearty whiskey that I can enjoy as that weather does begin to start getting a little cooler. This is some really good stuff, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Steve. One of the things we noticed when we were tasting through these barrels is one thing that's consistent with all of the rye that we've tasted from our barrels is that we get a big fruit burst on the front. So we use 2 different yeast strains, but there's one yeast strain that we use particularly that really gives, which I like the way that matches with that bold spice of the rye. So you get this big, ripe fruit on the front. And then you start getting some of those savory rye characteristics that we really like. And then, like you said, then you start getting into the oak with the mocha and the vanilla, and a lot of brown sugar too for me with that particular whiskey. It's surprisingly sweet for a whiskey that doesn't have any corn in it.
Yeah. Oh, it is really fantastic. And so tell us a little bit about this, where it's going to be available, that type of stuff, retail cost, all those good information.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to release this on November 26th. Okay. We're going to have, we're a nice sized distillery, but when it comes to releasing your own distillate at cask strength, it doesn't go very far. We're finding out. Right. So we're going to start out by releasing this in Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, and Florida. Okay. With the biggest amount of the allocation to Indiana. So you can go to our Spirit Finder on hardtruthdistilling.com after November 26th, and it'll show where where you can buy the product. Obviously, you can buy it here at the distillery and at any of our Big Woods restaurant locations that are under the same ownership. But we will also be, we're really making sure that our retail partners who out in the market get a shot at getting some of this whiskey. But I can tell you that, when these batches drop, I don't expect to see it out there very long.
Right. So you're coming out on a good day. So that's Black Friday. So a lot of us are out shopping. I go out and here locally in St. Louis, I like to go get the Bourbon County Stout. I don't know if you're a fan of that at all.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. And at some point you guys need to partner with them too. And I love how they draw in, the Old Forester and Blanton's and all these cool brands. At some point they need to partner with you guys. And you guys have, of course, a lot of experience in beer. So you really bring something cool to the table too. So that'd be,
that's kind of the next evolution for us as well, is now that we've got our whiskey coming out, it sort of changes the temperature for us interacting with some of the clubs and the groups and the retailers that really focus on those really whiskey hardcore customer base. So it's exciting for me. It was exciting to be at Whiskey Fest in Chicago this last weekend. The response to that Sweet Mash Rye was just through the roof. I couldn't be more pleased. So it's an exciting time, man. This is kind of, whenever you put a plan together and you work hard at it, whenever you get to a point at which you can enjoy some of what you worked hard for, it's exciting for all of us. And the team that was responsible for getting this together is just incredibly hardworking and passionate people. I love working with every one of them.
Very good. Very good. All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm going to do a pour of this too. Your Hard Truth Maple Bourbon Cream. Great looking product as always. Got the still right on front. And so tell us about this one.
Yeah. So the Maple Bourbon Cream has been a project those three words have been put together in my little black book for about 3 years. So it's been an idea I've had for a while. I love bourbon cream. I really, there are a couple of bourbon creams out in the market that I like better than others. And what I really like about those is, that really bold bourbon flavor. It's hard to get a bourbon flavor to push through all that delicious sweet cream and sugar. But so this is a project I worked on for about a year. And we work with a creamery in Wisconsin, and I spent some time with them. So for me, I wanted to find that balance of, a bold bourbon whiskey, pure sweet cream, and then pure maple syrup.
Yeah. It's so good. And what you gotta love about these is they're so flexible too, whether it's just a cordial you drink after dinner, maybe with a slice of pie would be fantastic, but you can pour it over ice cream. You can make some great cocktails with it. You can put it in your coffee. There's a lot of cool things you can do with a product like this, right?
Yeah, there's a guy that came up to our booth Friday night at Whiskey Fest in Chicago, and he tried all the whiskeys, and he tried the maple bourbon cream. About 20 minutes later, he came back, and he just walked up to me with a cup of coffee and just shoved the cup of coffee in my face. And I poured it in there. I said, "You got it down, buddy."
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great. It's great with coffee. It's great over and if you put it over a few cubes and it starts to kind of get cold and dilute a little bit, I even like it a little bit better.
Yeah. Boy, it is really solid and different too. Right. Like you said, I'm a fan of bourbon creams. I've tried a lot of different ones, and there's some good ones and some bad ones out there, but the ones that are good are really good. But this is different. The little bit of a maple twist is different, my friend. So it's cool.
Yeah. We're being here in the, deep hardwood forest. Maple syrup is a big part of people's lives here in this part of the county. And, there's maple syrup festivals that happen here. So fall time, Brown County, maple and bourbon and cream, it just all makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. Well, my friend, this is some good stuff. You got 2 great new products here. You guys continue to do amazing things, and I really appreciate you coming on today. Yeah. And tell us a little bit about, people want to follow this journey. They want to, get out and visit Hard Truth, website, social media, anything you'd like to share. Sure.
So we are on, all the major social media platforms. You can find us if you punch in Hard Truth Distilling, whatever the hashtag or tag for it will pop up. But you can go to hardtruthdistilling.com, where you'll find our landing page. In that you can find information about all of our spirits. There'll be cocktail recipes with pictures that are great. You can sign up for a tour, sign up for a mixology class. see what events we have coming down the pike. You can make a reservation for anything on there. But also you can just kind of get to know us a little bit better. So hardtruthDistilling.com. I'm going to be out in the market a bunch, Steve, in our states where we're distributed, talking about sweet mash. There's been a lot of great articles written in the last couple of years about sweet mash. And, I got to say, I'm humbled and I'm very proud to be a part of this, newer wave of whiskey making. I really think that it's something that's going to make a splash. Of course, sour mashing is a long historic process, but for me, sour mash whiskey at that 3-year mark, a lot of the flavors are muted. It still needs more time in the barrel, but with this sweet mash, the distillate's so clean, very complex, softer on the palate, better mouthfeel. We've got 4 rye mash bills, so I've got 3 more, and I know that you've gotten to taste a few of those other ones.
Got to grill some barrels, which is a favorite activity. So
yeah. And then we've got some bourbon mash bills coming down the pipe. So this is really kind of the start of a new era here at Hard Truth, where we get to bring out some really, really cool whiskeys to the world. I'm really excited.
Well, definitely keep us in mind. And as you do these things, we'd love to come on and promote them for you, taste them, and get the message out about it. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. For the audience, of course, I can be found an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. All of our shows are out there. Maybe you want to hear Bryan in a full interview where we did on the Bourbon Show. That's out there. So just check us out at abvnetwork.com. If you like what we're doing, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. You can get involved in the network. And of course, the last thing, if you like the show, please give it a review, 5-star review, and leave comments. It helps new people find the show. It's pretty important to us. Bryan, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Have a great day.
Talk to you later. All right. Bye. Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.